Welcome to What a Movie Recaps channel. The movie opens in 1988. A young boy named Michael is watching superhero movies. He loves them and dreams of having the same superpowers. He believes that if he gets these powers, he will become a hero. Even though his mother's words echo in his mind, a superhero is someone who fights beyond their strength for the common good. Michael doesn't believe in these words and feels that the only way to be a superhero is to get rid of his parents. So, in his anger, he blasts them away and kills them. In the present day, Michael is now older and more advanced in his thinking. He has invented some special weapons with the help of his friend Siri. They both work together on a secret lab project, hoping to gain real superpowers. Michael is focused on experimenting to gain natural powers in the lab, aiming to become famous with his new abilities. In a beautiful village named Anjanadri, we meet Hanumanthu, a young boy who is a petty thief. He does small-time jobs and is known for causing trouble and get insults by everyone in the village. Hanumanthu secretly loves a girl named Meenakshi since childhood, but she sees him only as a thief and never likes him. She likes the one who helps her out of sight since childhood, but she doesn't realize that it was Hanumanthu himself. Hanumanthu's sister, Anjamma, has been raising him since their parents passed away. She works hard for the family, but whenever her marriage proposals come up, the families back out because they don't want to marry into a family that has a thief. Anjamma always insists on bringing her brother along with her, but no one agrees to marry her because of Hanumanthu's reputation. The village head, Gajapati, who guards the village from group robbers and collects taxes from the villagers. If anyone dares to question him, he challenges them to win a wrestling match and his chair, but no one ever wins against him, instead lost their lives in the ring. One day, Meenakshi questions why the village still has guards when there are no group robbers these days. To scare everyone, Gajapati makes his men attack the bus pretending like robbers, which is carrying her and people. Hanumanthu saves her but remains unseen in the darkness. Meenakshi believes that her invisible friend saved her. During the fight, Hanumanthu gets badly beaten and falls from a cliff into the sea. There, he finds glowing pearl and is washed up onto the shore. The next morning, Hanumanthu wakes up and looks at the glowing pearl he found. As sunlight touches his eyes through the pearl, he feels a surge of amazing power. His body heals, all his wounds disappear, and he becomes much stronger. However, he doesn't notice the changes at first. He decides to go to Meenakshi and tell her that he was the one who saved her the previous night. On his way, some bad guys try to bully him. Hanumanthu fights back and knocks them away, making them fly in all directions. That's when he realizes how much stronger he's become. Just as he's about to impress Meenakshi with his newfound strength, the sunlight disappears as darkness sets in and his powers fade away. Hanumanthu is confused and doesn't understand why his powers have disappeared. The next day, Hanumanthu wakes up and sees the pearl shining in the morning sunlight. He realizes that the pearl only works when the sun's rays touch it. Excited, he tells his friend Kashi about his new powers, but Kashi doesn't believe him. To prove it, Hanumanthu stands in front of an oncoming train, expecting something to happen. However, nothing happens, and he's completely fine. Seeing this, Kashi finally believes his friend and understands that Hanumanthu really has special powers. Meenakshi learns about the trouble caused by Gajapati and challenges him. Gajapati dares her to defeat him in a wrestling match to take his position. Hanumanthu steps in and accepts the challenge for Meenakshi. During the match, the clouds block the sunlight, and Hanumanthu loses his powers. He gets beaten badly in the ring. However, when the clouds clear and sunlight returns, Hanumanthu's powers come back. He defeats Gajapati in front of the whole village. When he offered to that position, he tells the villagers that they should choose their own leader and that no one person should rule over them. Meenakshi is impressed by Hanumanthu's courage. Meanwhile, Michael and his friend Siri arrive in the village in a helicopter. They tell the villagers that they have come to develop backward villages like theirs. The villagers ask if they will build a hospital, and Michael agrees. He shakes hands with Hanumanthu and secretly collects a blood sample from him. In fact, Michael is fascinated by the powers he saw in a video, where Hanumanthu survived an accident with a train. He believes that Hanumanthu's powers are extraordinary and might be linked to something else. However, when he tests the blood sample, he finds nothing. It suggests that the powers might be coming from an external source, not from Hanumanthu himself. Michael decides to learn more about where the powers come from. Hanumanthu always hide the source and use his powers secretly to help the village. Meanwhile, Hanumanthu remains unaware of what Michael is doing. One day, Hanumanthu is kidnapped by Michael and learns that his powers come from the glowing pearl. He manages to escape using the pearl. Meanwhile, Meenakshi is attacked at a farm, and Hanumanthu rushes to save her. Meenakshi realizes that Hanumanthu has been the one helping her all along. Hanumanthu knows that Gajapati was behind the attack. He goes to Gajapati's house to warn him. Hanumanthu tells Gajapati that if he keeps causing harm to the village, the people will no longer accept him as their leader. Before leaving the house, he sets the backbone of Gajapati, which is dislocated by him in wrestling match. Michael plans to steal the pearl by freezing the entire village. He wants to take it from Hanumanthu while everyone is frozen. His friend Siri disagrees with the plan because it could destroy the entire village. In a fit of anger, Michael decides to get rid of Siri. He leaves the room, trapping Siri in smoke without his asthma inhaler. At the last moment, Hanumanthu saves Siri. In the chaos, Hanumanthu's sister dies, and in his grief and rage, Hanumanthu throws the pearl away, blaming it for the tragedy. Michael carries on with his plans to take over the village. Meenakshi convinces Hanumanthu to save the village. Even without his powers, he agrees and joins forces with Siri and Gajapati, who also helps. Although Hanumanthu has lost his powers, he decides to fight for the village. Michael, seeing Hanumanthu's determination, remembers his mother's words about being a true hero. However, he still doesn't understand them. At this moment, a monkey finds the pearl and gives it back to Hanumanthu. Michael, now wearing a powerful suit that Siri invented, challenges Hanumanthu to a final battle. The two fight, and Hanumanthu defeats Michael, saving the village. During the battle, the glowing pearl explodes, but the god's blood inside it gives Hanumanthu permanent superpowers. Hanumanthu finally becomes a true hero. He saves the world and learns that when you are on the good side, God will always help you. This is an excellent movie to watch on. Support the channel by giving this video a like and subscribing. It really helps us grow. Thank you.